Sudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12. So we are starting a new chapter today. So we'll see the summary first. Chapter entitled The Killing of the Demon Aghasura. This chapter describes in detail Krishna's pastime of killing Aghasura. One day Krishna wanted to enjoy a picnic lunch within the forest, and therefore he went out early into the forest with the other cowherd boys, accompanied by their respective groups of cows. While they were enjoying their picnic, Aghasura, the younger brother of Putana and Bakasura, appeared there, desiring to kill Krishna and his companions. The demon who had been sent by Kamsa assumed the form of a python, expanding himself to a length of 8 miles and the height of a mountain, his mouth seeming to extend from the surface of the earth to the heavenly planets. Having assumed this feature, Aghasura lay on the road. Krishna's friends, the cowherd boys, thought that the demon's form was one of the beautiful spots of Vrindavana. Thus they wanted to enter within the mouth of this gigantic python. The gigantic feature of the python became a subject for their sporting pleasure, and they began to laugh, confident that even if this figure were dangerous, Krishna was there to protect them. In this way, they proceeded toward the mouth of the gigantic figure. Krishna knew everything about Aghasura, and therefore he wanted to forbid his friends to enter the demon's mouth. But in the meantime, all the cowherd boys, along with their groups of calves, entered the mouth of that gigantic figure. Krishna was waiting outside, and Aghasura was waiting for Krishna, thinking that as soon as Krishna entered, he would close his mouth so that everyone would die. While waiting for Krishna, he refrained from swallowing the boys. In the meantime, Krishna was thinking of how to save the boys and kill Aghasura. Thus he entered the mouth of the gigantic Asura, and when he was within the demon's mouth, along with his friends, he expanded his body to such an extent that the Asura suffocated and died. After this, Krishna, by casting his nectarian glance upon his friends, brought them back to life, and with pleasure they all came out unhurt. Thus Krishna encouraged all the demigods, and they expressed their pleasure and happiness. For a crooked, sinful person, there is no scope for Sayujya Mukti or becoming one with the effulgence of Krishna. But because the Supreme Personality of Godhead entered the body of Aghasura, by his touch, this demon got the opportunity to merge into the existence of the Brahman effulgence and thus attained Sayujya Mukti. When this pastime was performed, Krishna was only 5 years old. 1 year later, when he was 6 years old, and he stepped into the Pauganda age, this pastime was disclosed to the inhabitants of Vraja. Parikshit Maharaj inquired, why is it that this pastime was disclosed only after 1 year, and yet the inhabitants of Vraja thought that it had been performed that very day? With this question, the 12th chapter ends. So now verse 1 and 2, they have no purport. So I will just read them and the translation. I'll read the verse and the translation. Oh, okay. And we'll recite text 3 together. So, text 1, translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: Shukadeva Goswami continued, O King, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. Having risen early in the morning, he blew his bugle made of horn and woke all the cowherd boys and calves with its beautiful sound. Then Krishna and the boys, keeping their respective groups of calves before them, proceeded from Vrajabhumi to the forest. Text 2, translation. At that time, hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys came out of their respective homes in Vrajabhumi and joined Krishna, keeping before them their hundreds and thousands of groups of calves. The boys were very beautiful and they were equipped with lunch bags, bugles, flutes, and sticks for controlling the cows. Text 3, please repeat after me. Krishna Vatsaihi Asankyataihi Yutikritya Swavatsakan Charayantah Arbalilabihi Vijahruhu Tatra Tatra Ha Krishnavatsayra Sankyatair Krishnavatsayra Sankyatair Yuti Kritya Swavatsakan Yuti Kritya Swavatsakan Charayantorbhalilabhir Charayantorbhalilabhir Vijahrustattra tatraha Vijahrustattra tatraha Krishnavatsayra Sankyatair Yuti Kritya Swavatsakan Charayantorbhalilabhir Vijahrustattra tatraha Krishnavatsayra Sankyatair Yuti Kritya Swavatsakan Charayantorbhalilabhir Vijahrustattra tatraha. Mataji's. Krishna of Lord Krishna, Vatsaihi, along with the cows, Asankyataihi, unlimited, Yuti Kritya, assembled them, Swavatsakan, personal cows, Charayantah, executing, Arbhalilabihi, by boyhood pastimes, Vijahruhu, enjoyed, Tatra Tatra, here and there, Ha, indeed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: along with the cowherd boys and their own groups of cows, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of cows assembled. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a greatly playful spirit. Purport: in this verse, the words Krishna Vatsair Asankyataihi are significant. The word Asankyata means unlimited. Krishna's cows were unlimited. We may speak of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions, trillions, tens of trillions, and so on. But when we go further to speak of numbers impossible for us to count, we are speaking of unlimited numbers. Such unlimited numbers are indicated here by the word asankyataihi. Krishna is unlimited, his potency is unlimited, his cows and calves are unlimited, and his space is unlimited. Therefore, he is described in Bhagavad Gita as Parabrahman. The word Brahman means unlimited, and Krishna is the supreme unlimited Parabrahman. Therefore, we should not consider the statements of this verse to be mythological. They are factual but inconceivable. Krishna can accommodate an unlimited number of calves and an unlimited measurement of space. This is neither mythological nor false. But if we study Krishna's potency with our limited knowledge, that potency will never be possible to understand. Atashri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyahi. Our senses cannot perceive how he could keep an unlimited number of calves and cows and have unlimited space in which to do so. But this is answered in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Evam prabho priyanam cha dhamnascha samayasya cha avichintya prabhavatvad atra kinchin durgatham. Sri Sanatana Goswami in the Srimad Bhagavatam states that since everything about Krishna is unlimited, nothing is impossible for him. It is in this sense that we have to understand this verse. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shonyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Vatsair Asankyatir Yuti Kritya Svavatsakan Charayantor Balilabhir Vijahrus Tatra Tatraha. Once again translation. Along with the cowherd boys and their own groups of calves, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of calves assembled. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a greatly playful spirit. Hare Krishna. So today we are entering into a new chapter, new pastime of the Lord. Among unlimited pastimes of the Lord, today we are entering to one of such. Every time in Damodar Ashtakam, when we sing, we used to sing that last line, Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam. So Lord performs Ananta Leelaya in every form. In whichever form he comes, he performs unlimited pastimes. And every time we say this, but especially for this pastime also, Acharya has explained that every step in this Leela, in this chapter, what we are going to see is more wonderful than what we have seen till now. Every step is wonderful. We will see as the chapter goes on, we'll see how it's really compared to even previously whatever we have seen. We know till now whatever we say, everything was wonderful. But Acharya is clearly they state that this chapter is further more wonderful. So Lord performs unlimited pastime. Actually, to say whatever he does, it's a pastime. Whatever activity he does, it is pastime. Contrast to us, whatever we do is simply time pass. Whatever he does is pastime. Exactly like how Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakam. So in spiritual world, whatever activity happens, that is called pastime, and in material world, the exact opposite, time pass. So, because that's what happens here. We may say, I have done so many things in my life. I have achieved so many things from my childhood. But recently, we celebrated Narasimha Chaturthasi. We were hearing something about Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. But how wonderful Prahlad's instructions are. Just 5 years old boy, just like here Krishna is 5 years old in this pastime. 5 years old boy, he is preaching to his classmates. He is explaining them very wonderful philosophy that exactly how everybody in this world is simply time passing. He is saying every human being at maximum, we have 100 years of age, and out of which simply by sleeping, half of that is gone. So 50 years is gone simply, we pass the time by sleeping. And he says in childhood, when we don't know what to do, When we don't know how to eat, how to wash, how to take bath, what we should do, what we should not do, in that another 10 years, time passes. Then when we become little matured, when 10 years, then immediately we want to play and spend time with our friends, do so many other things, and then another 10 more year, time passes. And Prahlad Maharaj mentions, then at the back end of our life, the last 20 years, where really we want the time to pass fast, it passes really slow. So there again, 20 years is gone. So whatever is left over, if you calculate, is very less, 10 years gap. And even that time, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, because we are pramattasya, he mentions a word, because we are mad behind sense enjoyment, we are wasting that time also. So it's completely wastage of this wonderful human form of life. That's what we are doing in this material life. We may say, no, see, I have got this big degree, I have got big post, I have become leader of this country, what great achievement I have done. So how this could be time pass? No, it's still time pass. Because it's not going to stay with us. That is not will help us in attaining what we are searching for. Yesterday, that boy is not here. Yesterday evening, one devotee boy, he came to me and he said, Prabhu, last Sunday was IPL final. I said, so what? And KKR won. So, devotee boy. So I asked him, so what? What you will gain from that or what I will gain from that? No, bro, I'm just saying, just a time pass. Yes, that is what we are also saying. It's simply time pass. What you are going to gain from that? Nothing. I know I was also in the same situation before, but at least after hearing, theoretically at least we should understand that Chanakya Pandit says, Prabhupada so many times quotes, Ayusha Kshana Ekopi Nalavya Swarna Kotibihi. Even if we give thousands and thousands of gold coins, you will not be able to get back even 1 second, even fraction of a second. And still we are thinking, life is smooth, we can enjoy. We can practice Krishna consciousness one side from morning to evening. And afterwards we can, material life also, we can enjoy a little bit. Why always tapasya, chant, read, hear, do service? Little enjoyment also. But what we are going to gain from that? Or even what they will gain from that? He was saying, that team become champion. What they will gain from that? Maybe some name, maybe some fame, maybe some money. How long? Till 1 more year. When next year comes, actually what they got is more pressure. More pressure to win again, more pressure to hold back the title. So this is what material enjoyment is. We will not really get happiness. That is not sweet. That is not pleasurable thing. We will be again hankering. When Prabhupada mentions Atma Tattva Prabhu in his memories, he says, material sense gratification is like itching. When you have itching at some place, you rub, you feel little pleasure. You rub more, you will feel little more pressure. You rub more, then what happens? You feel more pleasure? Atma Tattva Prabhupada mentioned, blood comes. This is what happens. Try to enjoy more, finally frustration. Because Krishna also mentions in Gita, in the beginning it looks like Amrita, but at the end it is poison. But Krishna Leelas, at the beginning it is Amrita, in the middle it is Amrita, at the end also it is Amrita. That also we hear from Shrutakirti Prabhu. Shrutakirti Prabhu used to read Prabhupada, this Krishna book, when devotees used to honor Prasadam or when he is with Prabhupada. Every time he used to read from Krishna book. So, but every time when he reads, he also looks at Prabhupada's face, that how Prabhupada is reacting. So from that he came to know that whenever he reads that Krishna killing somebody, like in this chapter we are seeing Krishna killing Aghasura, when he reads that kind of portion, Prabhupada is little more involved into it. So what one day Shrutakirti Prabhu did, he sat with Krishna book for reading, but he's going forward, back, reverse, turning so many pages. Prabhupada is asking, what you are doing? Prabhupada, I am trying to find some Leela where Krishna is fighting with demons and killing. Then Prabhupada says, no, you read from anywhere. Krishna is like a sweet ball. Wherever you bite, means wherever you hear about Krishna, whatever you read about Krishna, it's sweet. So that's what we are seeing here. Whatever Krishna does, therefore it is called pastimes. Whatever. If it could be very simple thing. What is the simplest thing we could do in our life? Without any effort? Sleeping. Uh, it's difficult to answer because in modern world, for that sleeping also you have to take so many pills. So it is difficult maybe to conceive. But for devotees it is not. No, it comes at any time, especially at 7:45 to 8:45. So sleeping is no simplest thing we could do. Simplest time pass we could do. But it is amazing pastime which Lord is doing. Therefore his sleep is called Yoga Nidra. In his sleeping, he is breathing, like as we also do. He is breathing, and simply by breathing, he is creating universes and he is destroying universes. He is maintaining everyone. He is giving everyone all this sharira and this nature, so that we can get out of this material. But everything he does simply when he is sleeping. How amazing it is! His sleeping is pastime. His yawning is pastime. We have seen that before. Simply yawning, he is showing entire universe within his mouth. So after sleeping, what we do? We get up, we brush our teeth, we bathe. Lots bathing is pastime. Snana yatra. He is announcing, I am going to take bath. Please everybody come and see. So simply by seeing him taking bath, all our sins are getting washed away. What a wonderful pastime. His sleeping is pastime, yawning is pastime, bathing is pastime, dressing is pastime. Everything is sweet. Therefore, Acharya, in that song, Adaram Maduram, we have Vasanang Maduram, Nayanang Maduram. Everything is Maduram about Lord. How is sleeping? Suktam Maduram. His sleeping is Maduram. And now in today's chapter, this chapter begins by Krishna and his cowherd boys, they are roaming in forest. So this wandering, that is also Brahmitam Maduram. Lord's wandering is Maduram. Whatever is roaming is Maduram. And why he is wandering with his friends? He wants to go for a picnic. Picnic in the forest. We will go to Hawaii and somewhere, Mauritius, like that. And Krishna is going to forest with his friends. So for what? He is going to forest to have his breakfast there. Actually, if you have noticed a little attentively when I was reading summary of this chapter, there it is mentioned a little differently in the first line of the chapter. Summary. Just go back. Both Prabhupada has written according to Bhagavatam, but see here, Prabhupada writes in the beginning of the summary that one day Krishna wanted to enjoy a picnic, lunch within the forest. And therefore he went out early into the forest with other cowherd boys. But how the first verse goes here? Sukadeva Goswami continued, O king, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. And I was looking, maybe in the next verse there will be mention of lunch, something. It was not. So now which is true? Here lunch is true or breakfast is true? Then I thought, okay, we'll see in the Sanskrit term. Some mention would be there. So if you read this entire text, there is no mention of whether it was breakfast or lunch. So, breakfast or lunch? As Prabhupada was saying, both. Both. But, Srila Jiva Goswami, he mentions, especially for breakfast they went. Therefore, in this verse also, Prabhupada also gives the word breakfast. Otherwise, Prabhupada himself mentioned in purport as lunch. So, he could have directly given as lunch. But why this word breakfast is given? Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. Even before this also, Krishna, so many times he has gone to forest with his cowherd boys, calves, so many times. Today is another day. But why this is especially mentioned? Why Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning? One day Krishna decided to take his breakfast. So Acharyas explained that till that day, every time Krishna used to take breakfast at home and then go to forest with his calves and cowherd boys and then enjoy sport there. But the day before this day, at night, suddenly he had a thought, why don't we take breakfast there? So that night itself, he immediately informed all his friends, tomorrow morning we are going early morning, so you all wake up. Like we also used to do, no? So from tomorrow annual leave starts. So you be ready, early morning we'll go for playing or for swimming, whatever. And whole night we will be thinking about that. And morning we will be the first person waking up and then calling others, hey, did you wake up? Did you get ready? Come fast, I am waiting. So from where we got all this? From Krishna. Because this verse says, you see, one day Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest, having risen early in the morning. Krishna rose first. Krishna awoke first. He blew his bugle made of horn and woke all the cowherd boys and calves with its beautiful sound. So Krishna woke up first and then he went and by his sweet music, even his calling is music, even if he calls somebody by name, that itself is music, but still with his bugles, he blew and everybody woke up. So it's amazing. So everybody woke up, now everybody is entering into the forest. And it's so in so much detail it is explained in this chapter that how wonderfully this wandering within the forest, how wonderfully this pastime goes. So the first verse says that Krishna and cowherd boys, they all woke up early in the morning, then they started to go. Okay, here is one more line, we will discuss about this at the end of our class. Krishna and the boys, keeping the respective groups of calves before them, proceeded from Rajabhumi to the forest. Just remember this, we will try to see this at the end. So now first verse we saw. Second verse is really interesting. Second verse, at that time hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys came out of their respective homes in Rajabhumi and joined Krishna. When Krishna blew his bugles, what happened? Hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys came. Carefully see that it's not hundreds of cowherd boys, or it's not thousands of cowherd boys. It is hundreds and thousands of. This is an idiomatic phrase, meaning that unlimited number of boys. Unlimited number of boys joined Krishna. Unlimited. Nobody could count. That many cowherd boys were there. Not only that many boys joined with Krishna, see the next line, keeping before them there hundreds and thousands of groups of calves. Again, it is not hundreds of groups of calves or thousands of groups of calves. It's hundreds and thousands of groups of calves. Again, unlimited number of calves and cowherd boys, they joined with Krishna. So this count does not include Krishna and Krishna's calves. That we have to remember. That Shukadev Goswami is going to narrate in the next verse. That's what we saw today with Purport. Krishna Vatsair Asankyatair. Lord Krishna along with his calves, again the term is used, Asankyatair. Along with the cowherd boys and their own groups of calves, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of calves assembled. Already there were unlimited number of cowherd boys, unlimited number of calves, and now Krishna is bringing another unlimited number of calves. Srila Prabhupada very nicely, in Purport he said, in this verse the words Krishna Vatsair Asankyata are significant. The word Asankyata means unlimited. Krishna's calves were unlimited. We may speak, here is really interesting, we may speak of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, billions, trillions, tens of trillions, and so on. So like this, till this you can count. You can say 10, 100,000, like this, you can tell this much. But when we go further to speak of numbers, impossible for us to count. We are speaking of unlimited numbers. Such unlimited numbers are indicated here by the word Asankyata. So it's unlimited, therefore the word Asankyata is given. Prabhupada concludes like this. But just like how Prabhupada mentioned this tens, hundreds, like that, Srila Jiva Goswami, he gives this description in little more detail, little more interesting way. Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, everybody gives. Srila Jiva Goswami, he says, actually this Asankyata word, this is not just defining some, this is not a word just for defining the term unlimited. This word is term for a particular number. Like for 10 what we have? 10 what we say? Dasha. For 100, Shata. For 1000, Sahasra. For lakh, Laksha. For crore, we have Koti. After that, still list is there. We know normally we use this much. Then we say 100 crores, 100 koti, Shatakoti. Like that we use, and then we say Sahasra, this, that, and then Asankyata, like that we finish. So, Srila Jiva Goswami, he gives like this one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. So many he gives, and finally he gives one number mentioning, this is called Pararthaya something. Just 1 second. I forgot the word, therefore I just typed that. Parardha. He comes to one particular length of numbers, and then he says this term is called Parartha. Like one by one, he explains everything. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he understands our situation. He very simply defines that. No need to explain all this way. He very simply defines Parardha means you put 1 in front and you put 17 zeros behind that. That is called Parardha. Very simple way he explains. 10 means 1 and behind 1 zero. 100 means 1 behind 2 zeros. Like that he says, Parardha means you put 1 and behind that you put 17 zeros. So where is this Asankyata comes? Asankyata means 1 Parardha multiply by 1 more Parardha, multiply by 1 more Parardha, and multiply by 1 more Parardha. Actually this is not 1 Parardha by 4 times. It is not 4 times of Parardha. If you do 4 times of Parardha, it becomes a different number. Just like, for example, 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. But if you do 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, if you do, it comes 625. So like that he says it's not 4 times of 1 Parardha, it is 1 Parardha multiplied by 1 Parardha multiplied by 1 more Parardha multiplied by 1 more Parardha. Which is 1 with 17 zeros, multiply by 1 with 17 zeros, multiply by 1 with 17 zeros, with 1 multiply by 17 zero comes 1 followed with 68 zeros. Even to conceive this or even to write this, already our hands will start paining. And this is the number of calves which Krishna brought with him to the forest for picnic. 1 with 68 zeros. Remember, this is only Krishna's calves. Already we saw all other cowherd boys they are already in unlimited number and they have unlimited number of calves. Then imagine for a picnic how many people they are taking. And really I was thinking, really a furthermore interesting thing is, this 1 followed by 68 zeros, these many calves Krishna brought from home. That means how many are still left over at home? Because these are not the entire calves. At this age, when Krishna is 5 years old, only certain calves are handed over to Krishna. There are elderly calves, younger calves, male and female, and mothers of those calves are there, and other cows are there, bulls are there. Then what is the count within that Vrajabhumi? Now we are only discussing about cows, calves, bulls. Then what to speak of monkeys? What to speak of other peacocks or whatever, and what to speak of ultimately cowherd boys, cowherd men, cowherd women. So therefore Prabhupada writes in the purport, when this kind of description is given, then immediately what people will say, this is mythological. How this is possible? Vrindavan is 32 square mile area. How many people can be there? How many cows, how many calves? And Krishna is taking them to forest, and there how this much is possible? These are mythology, not at all possible. So for you to give some mythological story, Vyasadeva is sitting and he's describing all this Srimad Bhagavatam to Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami is narrating to Parikshit Maharaj, and Sutta Goswami listens that, and he gives in the Guru Shishya Parampara, and it comes to us, and we are publishing unnecessarily this mythological story in 18 volumes for you and distributing. What is this nonsense? Why they have to do that? Just to simply, and you can see all these mythological stories are in Pakka Sanskrit grammar. So Vyasadeva had to learn Pakka grammar in Sanskrit. Why? To write some mythological stories. How bogus it is. In Bhagavatam itself, in the beginning it is said, why this Srimad Bhagavatam is given. Anarthopasamam shakshat bhakti yogam adokshaje lokasya jhanato vidvangs chakre shasvata samhitam. To remove all the dirt from the hearts of these people, the really learned Vyasadeva, Lokasya jhanato vidvangs. Among all the people, the topmost learned person, Vyasadeva, who is incarnation of Lord, literary incarnation of Lord, he himself has given this Srimad Bhagavatam. Then why is it going to be just mythological? Just because we cannot understand. Just because I cannot understand. Prabhupada, very nicely in one conversation, he asks one person, okay, you are saying you cannot understand. This is not possible. Because you cannot understand, therefore it is not possible. Okay, let me ask you a question. There is coconut tree. We have so many coconut trees behind. See this coconut tree. Something like 60 feet above, there is this coconut. And inside the coconut, there is water. So how water went inside coconut? Where is the pump? Where is the pipe? Where is the motor? Which is the motor which pumped water from ground and put inside the coconut? No answer. So you cannot answer. Then what? Water inside the coconut is mythology. No. That's it. So, no, Prabhupada, very with simple examples, Prabhupada smashes in everyone. Just because you cannot understand, therefore it is mythology. There are so many things we cannot understand. But regarding anything material scientists, they say we will believe because they are God for us. But Shastras, Acharyas, Bhagavan, whatever they speak, it's mythology. We don't want to believe. How it is possible? But Prabhupada explains here, it's simple thing. Krishna is unlimited. His potency is unlimited. In one place, Prabhupada mentions as inconceivable. We cannot conceive with our material senses. How much you try, even with our blunt material senses, Prabhupada writes in the purport at the end, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grahyam Indriyai. If we study Krishna's potency with our limited knowledge, that potency will never be possible to understand with your material senses. And what to speak of impure material senses. Prahlad Maharaj, same thing he explains. Matirna Krishne Parata Svatova Mito Pibat Yeta Grihavratanam Adhanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Punah Punah Charvita Charvananam. You will just go on chewing the chewed, but you will never get understanding about Krishna. You will be never inclined to Krishna with this impure senses. We will never be able to understand. We will be always going on questioning Krishna. How this is correct? How this is possible? In Nrsimha Chaturdashi day we were explaining, Krishna, Nrsimhadev showered his mercy to both Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. To Prahlad, he showered his mercy by protecting him. And on the other hand, he showered his mercy to Hiranyakashipu by killing him. Then immediately after class, one person came. How it is possible? How protection and killing become same? If you kill, that is killing. If you protect, that is protecting. So you cannot conceive. Whatever Lord does, it is for the benefit of everyone. For us directly with our senses, we may not be able to understand which is Krishna's mercy, whether he is killing or whether it's protecting. Similarly, so many examples we can see. We may think, normally people think when they come into spiritual path or whenever they come to temple, general people, for what they come? To get something. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritun arjuna artho jignasur artharthi. So they come to Lord to get something. So normally what people think, that if Lord gives me something, then that is his mercy. But if he takes away something, then what they say? Lord is not at all there. Krishna is not God. I went to this Baba, that Baba, then I will get. So I will worship. How many times we see when we go to book distribution or whenever we meet people nowadays, they have no big picture of this so-called Sai Baba. And more it's increasing. People think if I go to him, he will give me. So that is Bhagavan's mercy. But Krishna, what he says in Bhagavatam, Yasyaham anugrihnami harishye tadhanam kshanai tato dhanam tyajantyasya swajana dukkha dukkitam. He says, Yasyaham anugrihnami, if I am giving my mercy to someone, what I do? Harishye tadhanam kshanai. Hari means one who takes away everything. I takes away everything from them. First what I do? Tadhanam, I take away their wealth. If wealth is gone, then what will happen? Then all our relatives at the time only will come to us and then help us very nicely. Oh, you are suffering. I will give you some money. I will give you a house. Everybody disappears. Like How we were in Corona, lockdown. You have to be alone. Nobody will come next to you. So Krishna says, I'll first take away dhanam. Then what happens? Tato dhanam tyajantasya swajana dukkha dukkitam. Then all your relatives, friends, well-wishers, nobody is your well-wisher. Everybody will go away. I will stay with you. So Krishna showers mercy in this way also. And on the other hand, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananya chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. To my devotees, I protect whatever they have and I give them whatever they need. In one place in Bhagavatam, he says, I takes away. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, I give. So, which he does? Both he does. And both are his mercy. He knows to whom I should give and he knows from whom I should take. So, it's unbelievable how Krishna's potency is working. It's really amazing. Everything in all aspects we see how much mercy he has upon conditioned souls, those who are suffering, how to take us back from this material world. Normally what we do in our life, if somebody shouts at us, immediately we develop anger upon them. We don't even look at their face. And especially if they start criticizing us, commenting us, shouts at us, throw something at us, then this lifetime, you are different, I am different. Let's think in next life, whether we will even meet or not. Or even in 7 lifetimes, I will be your enemy. But how much criticism, how much offenses we have done against Lord, but still Lord always is ready to help us. He is waiting inside our heart. Waiting for us just to turn. Even if some simple thing if we do, then Krishna immediately says, see, he is doing for me only. That's what we hear whenever we go to some dham. Even if you sleep there, Lord is saying, see, he came so far away to this dham so that he can offer obeisances to me. So, how much merciful Lord is in every aspect. He gives Vedas right after the creation. He gives Vedas so that at least take the help of these Vedas, you come back. And we will tell, no, I don't know how to read. I don't know this language. I don't have proper vision to see. That so many excuses we will give. So Lord has given acharyas behind the Vedas. So they will explain, you simply hear. That also we don't want. Then what Lord does? He comes in so many incarnations, performs so many wonderful pastimes like this to attract us. Still, we are not interested. Then ultimately Krishna himself comes in his Swayam Rupa, in his own form, and performs all these wonderful, beautiful pastimes. And this chapter, actually, we see this chapter is entitled as Killing of the Demon Aghasura. So now when we read that Krishna planned for picnic going into the forest, then immediately we will think that Krishna knows that Aghasura is going to come there. So therefore Krishna is going for picnic. In the morning after breakfast, he is going to kill Aghasura. And when he takes lunch, then Brahma Vimohana Leela is going to happen. So Krishna knows this, therefore he is going. Normally, at least I was thinking like that. Then Acharyas actually they explain, no, it is not. Killing of Aghasura and Brahma Vimohana Leela both happened incidentally, accidentally. It was not at all planned. Lord's plan was only one thing, that I go with my friends and enjoy my picnic in the forest. So this is what Lord does. Everything, every time, whatever he does, it is just simply for it gives pleasure to others also. Lord also is happy. When Lord is happy, then Sarva Bhuteshu, everybody becomes happy simply by that. So sometimes it may look like Lord is also like struggling, suffering, but when apparently it looks like Lord is suffering, devotees cannot tolerate. And when apparently looks like devotee is suffering, Lord cannot tolerate. Now we were seeing that, I told that one line, we will discuss about that later. That Krishna and boys keeping their respective groups of calves before them proceeded from Rajabhumi to forest. Why actually the calves went before Krishna? So many reasons could be given for that from the scriptural point of view we can see. And among such one thing is Krishna's love for cows. It is explained that in that Adaram Maduram song, if we see the dust from the lotus feet of Krishna is very sweet. But scriptures explain for Krishna, dust from the calf's hoof print and cow's hoof print, he considered that to be more sweet. So therefore, he always allow them to go front and then he walks back. And Acharyas give so many other explanations also that why calves are going front. Because Krishna doesn't wear slippers. And Krishna's footprints everybody is hankering for. So if Krishna is walking in the front and calves are walking behind, there are chances of Krishna's imprint to be trampled by the footprints of calves. So therefore they don't go behind him, they go ahead of him. And by any chance, even if they go behind him, they are so careful, they are so aware that they don't step on his footprints. So the love between Krishna and even the calves, to say that it's so wonderful, so inconceivable. 2 years back, 2022 June, if I say properly, June 17, I was in Juhu ISKCON for crane, this blue crane purchasing. We were looking around. I was in Juhu ISKCON. There Lokanath Maharaj gave one class that day. That time regarding Govardhan hill, Govardhan puja, something he was explaining in the class, how Krishna lifted Govardhan and all. At the time he mentioned the love Krishna has for these calves and cows. Very amazing, interesting pastime he narrated. He said one day, when Krishna, like this daily, he used to go to forest. One day Yashoda Ma said to Krishna that, Krishna, see, this forest is full of thorns and pebbles, so many things are there. Your feet is very soft. Why don't you wear slippers? You please wear some slippers. See, I have brought for you. You wear the slippers and go. So that your feet will not get hurt. Krishna immediately said no. Yashoda thought, why? What happened? Krishna said, see, I am ready to wear, but if you can provide shoes for all my calves, then I will wear. Because they are also walking barefoot without any shoes. They are also stepping. So if you have shoes for all of the calves, then I will wear. Imagine now the position of Yashodama. Just now we saw how many calves Krishna have. Asankyata. One with 68 zeros. Now, actually, Yashoda Ma has to get shoes not one with 68 zeros, because each calf has 4 legs. You have to multiply that by 4. So 4 with 68 zeros of shoes, Yashoda Ma has to get for Krishna. Then Yashoda Ma said, okay, thank you. Forget about it. Okay, leave that. At least you take some umbrella and go. It's so hot there. Then what Krishna would have replied? If we can provide 1 with 68 zeros of umbrellas, then you give the calves also, then I will go with them. But actually Krishna didn't stop there, because even if you give 1 with 68 numbers of zeros umbrellas to the calves, how calves will hold? Calves, they don't have hands. So now you have to give extra 1 with 68 zeros of cowherd boys to hold that umbrella for the calves. So then Yashodama said, forget that also. No? You go, whatever you want, you do. So this much love Krishna had for the cows. And the cows reciprocated their love to Krishna by what they did, that day night. Next day morning they all are going to go to the forest. So that could be, maybe Maharaj was mentioning exactly this narration or what, I forgot. Pebbles, and made everything into soft sand. So that next day morning when Krishna comes, he will not get hurt. His legs will not be pierced by even small pebbles. This much love calves had for Krishna. So if calves, they can show this much love and affection towards Krishna, and Krishna reciprocates this much love and affection towards them, then what to speak of those who are in human form, those who can hear all these narrations, those who can understand all these narrations, and those who can become one of persons, like one among them, with such love for Krishna. If we have such love for Krishna, then imagine how much love Krishna will shower upon us. It's unimaginable, unbelievable. So therefore, this is inconceivable for us. But we should understand that, because Krishna is unlimited, his potency is unlimited. He can do anything. It is not that these all are stories. Now only we have so much population. Previously it was not that much. People used to say, Mahabharata, this mythology, how it is possible that so many warriors, so many Akshavinis were there. What to speak of Kurukshetra? You are speaking Kurukshetra. We had 18 Akshavinis. But when Jarasandha fought with Krishna, how many times? 17 times? How many times even? 21 times. 17 times. So every time he went with 17 Akshohinis. So not only during Kurukshetra, that many soldiers were there. Even other than that also, so many people, so many soldiers were there. Population is always like up and down. When some war comes, when some small pralayas comes, population goes down. Then again further comes up. No, people they always think, no, now only we are advancing, now only we are growing, now only population is going up. Because we don't know the entire story, how the cycle works. Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. Kali is very small compared to Satya Yuga. And compared to spiritual world, everything is small. So therefore, Krishna can accommodate anything, everywhere. And spiritual world is explained like the petals of lotus flower. So whenever Krishna wants, it expands. Whenever Krishna desires, it shrinks. Whenever Krishna wants to go from home to Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radha Kund and comes back to home, shrinks. So that it helps Krishna in going quickly. And when Krishna wants to accommodate these many calves, these many gopas at one particular area, then immediately land expands. Because Krishna, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's dham, everything is absolute. Everything is spiritual. And everything knows what is Krishna's desire. So therefore, they act accordingly. So these were some of the points I was thinking to discuss. More could be added. So if any comments, corrections, questions. Yes. Inconceivable, yeah. And Rasa Leela time, exactly in this connection, Srila Jiva Goswami in his commentary explains 1 billion gopis were there with Krishna in that small area. You imagine if 1 billion people gathers in one place, how others will not come to know that. Even if you have some small festival, 1,500 people comes, immediately there is huge commotion. Now 1 billion gopis are assembling, but nobody knows about that, how Krishna is dancing with them. It's amazing how Krishna performs everything. Sometimes he takes help of his brother Balaram in few leelas. And especially here, that is one more thing I forgot to mention. Here, if you see in this first verse, Vinirgato Vatsap Purasaro Harihi, it is mentioned. So Hari, Krishna, he woke up and then he blew his bugles and everybody came and joined. So Krishna left to forest for the picnic. There is no mention of Balaram. So Acharyas explain actually that day Balaram didn't go. Balaram also wanted to go. When he heard that sweet music of bugle, he also wanted to join. When he heard about the picnic plan, everybody would like to join. But Balaram's mother Rohini said, no, today is your Janma Nakshatra. Stay back and you do all the ceremonies at home. So she scolded him. And therefore we know when Brahma Vimohana Leela happened and also when Agasura Leela happened, Balaram was not there. So for that also Acharyas are giving explanation that just because Rohini said, therefore Balaram didn't go. It is not that during Brahma Vimohana Leela, Krishna wanted to, by his Leela Shakti, he stopped Balaram, that he doesn't come, then this Leela can be performed. So Jiva Goswami is saying this is secondary reason. Primary reason was Balaram stayed back because Rohini wanted. Because that is Balaram's love for Rohini. Balaram alone desired to go with Krishna and enjoy that picnic. But his love for Rohini was much more stronger. So he listened to her and stayed back. So it's beautiful when we read, hear. Therefore, this should be done daily, on daily basis when we read, when we hear, when we take notes and then try to understand deeply and apply in our life. It's simply nectar. Krishna Rasayanam Piba. Just this Rasayanam, this is amazing nectar, Amrita. Yes, bro. So, so the question is, we are hearing now this unlimited number of cowherd boys, unlimited number of calves were there, and at the same time in the description, we hear that Aghasura, he opened his mouth and he was keeping till Krishna entered. That means before that, all that one with 68 zeros of cowherd boys, this and calves, everybody entered. So how it was possible for Aghasura to accommodate that much? So this shows the the competitor of Krishna, because if Krishna desires to fight with someone, then that person should be competent enough, it cannot be some insignificant person. When boxing happens, both should be in heavyweight category, not that one heavyweight category person comes and then one small lightweight category person comes and he pushes with small finger and this fellow falls. Nobody will, it is not glorified, appreciated. So similarly, when Krishna comes and performs this kind of wonderful leelas, we see that the demons are also really powerful. When we see Ravana, when we see Hiranyakashipu, they are really powerful. That day we were discussing. Recently one politician, he was saying, what is this Ram? How is Bhagavan? To take Sita back, he had to build bridge and go. But see our Ravana, simply by flying he came and took Sita. So who is great? You are celebrating festival for Ram, I will celebrate festival for Ravana. He is very proudly saying, one of the famous politicians in Tamil Nadu. He is glorifying all the activities of Ravana. See, my Ravana, when Sita entered into fire, this is not showing the chastity of Sita, this is showing the chastity of my Talevan Ravana. How come? What is this new story? He is explaining. See, if Ravana had touched Sita, his head would burst into pieces. It didn't happen. When Sita entered, when Sita entered into fire, we come to know that she didn't touch. So actually Sita entered into fire to show the chastity of Ravana, that Ravana didn't touch her. Amazing chastity. When he took her from the Vana, that time where was his chastity? Valmiki and Kamban very nicely, he says that Ravana was very careful, knowing that if I touch Sita, my head will blast into pieces. Therefore he took Sita with the land. 8 miles by 8 miles land, he dug and took Sita with that land. And you are glorifying the activity of Ravana. How, first of all, Ravana got that curse? With his own brother's son's daughter. His brother is Kuvera. Kuvera's son is Nalakuvara. Nalakuvara and Manigiri, I don't know, I forgot either one of them, most probably Nalakuvara, I think. Nalakuvara's wife is Ramba. So one day when Ravana came to her house, then immediately Ramba said, uncle, please come. And started respecting him. He said, what is this uncle and all? You come sit on my lap. She said, what is this inappropriate? What inappropriate? You come. Forcefully, he raped her. Then she went and cried to Nalakuvara. Then they went to Brahma. Then Brahma cursed him. If one more time you touch any woman without her desire, without her interest, then your head will blast. So what about this portion? He doesn't mention this. And Prabhupada so many times says, okay, you are saying, for example, let us take, our Lord had to build a bridge and go there. How many pillars his bridge had? He built a bridge from Sri Lanka from Rameshwaram to Sri Lanka. Such huge length bridge he built. If you go to Juhu, you can see from Juhu temple nearby, they have built a bridge in the ocean. See, you can see how many pillars they have. But how many pillars did Lord Ram used for building that bridge? 0. And more amazing is, he did that with stone structure. We know stone structure needs how many pillars. If you come to our temple hall after we finish our temple, if you come, then you will understand. Therefore, in this hall, we did not want any pillar, we had to put these I-beams. If you are doing something with stones, you need pillar. Otherwise, how it will stay? But for our Bhagavan, our Lord, he did not need any pillar and he did not need anything, any sharp-minded civil engineers. He had only monkeys with him and squirrel, Hanumans helping them. And stones were floating. Floating stone bridge he could make. What do you say about that? And this bogus fellow blabbers and everybody claps. Hey, super, 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 super. Birds of same feather flock together. So this is the thing. So why I started all this? Because from that also we can see, people, they glorify Ravana so much. From Mahabharata, there are so many people bogusly, they glorify Duryodhana. They are glorifying Karna, we know, but one person has written book. Do you remember I mentioned before? I forgot the name. Like Ramayana we have, like that one person has written Ravanayana. Life of Rama is called Ramayana. This person has written book called Ravanayana. The life of Ravana. Ravana's life is glory. He has written one book like that. Similarly, one more writer, he has written book called Asura, the life of Duryodhana, regarding the life of Duryodhana, detailedly describing that the hero of Mahabharata is Duryodhana. He is mentioning there how great Duryodhana was, how great his qualities were, this, that, so many things. So from this also we can see all of them really with their qualities, with their qualifications, with so many things, they were great. Prabhupada also in many places he says, yes, of course, Ravana was powerful, but what was the problem? He wanted to enjoy Sita without Lord Narayana. That is the problem. So same thing is with all the demons, though they are really powerful. When we were seeing regarding the Putana's pastimes, no, we can see Putana could change form like anything. So many descriptions were given. Really powerful Rakshasi. And particularly Kamsa selected her first because she was the topmost of whatever demoniac assistance this Kamsa had. So then you can understand really how much powerful she was. Therefore the first Astra Kamsa sent was Putana. And Lord finished her with his beautiful lips. That much was enough for Lord. At least for Hiranyakashipu, he had to use his Shila Tanka Naka Alaye. But for Putana, he simply used his lips. And here Aghasura, such a huge form, Lord simply had to little bit expand. Little stretching. We do little stretching. So like that, Lord had to little bit stretch and Aghasura blasted into pieces. So it's fun for them also. In the summary also we read, no? When the boys came, immediately they saw, oh, we have come for picnic. And really amazing thing is here for us. Let us enter into it. They wanted to enjoy that. So therefore, Lord also provides such a place for them, such huge size. 8 miles something description was given. The length of the Aghasura python. And Lord knows how to do things. Hare Krishna.